1, 2, 3, 4.
My actual collection.
What do you got here?
Jake's B-ball cards.
Oh yeah, here.
I was gonna say, I wonder if any of these are worth money. Like 90s fucking basketball cards. Whole lot of beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, this guy is, and then you got, on the Portland, and, well, that guy's white.
So I had some...
Mark Price?
I don't know what happened to all my collection. Here's an Iverson. Or no, Phil Curry. I was big into basketball, so this is all my basketball cards, but then I had...
Table of contents.
My mom had all this shit organized.
Dude, your mom is a fucking G. Let's see you got on the R. 76ers is not in the R, but I get where she's coming from. Dude.
Somewhere in here's gotta be money.
It seems like you got a lot of complete lines. You could probably get some money for that.
I just thought it was funny. I noticed this like a few weeks ago when I was going through the boxes and you're cleaning up, and I was like, "Oh fuck, my old car."
Bring this over to Beachcomber, man. You got some good quality in here. It doesn't look like there's water damage on any of them. You'd have to send these to get graded, and they're probably, because they've been handled in this, they'll be a little bit lower, because you can see there's like a little bit of weather damage on like the edges and shit. But like, dude, you could send these. They'll hit like about like a 9 or like if not higher than that. And
but these are the ones
looks
I
like,
thought you'd be more interested in. Ron Hextall signed.
Oh, that's
my
fucking
hockey
sick,
album.
man.
Yeah, dude. The 90s. Milan Hajduk. Just a bunch of fucking...
Marty McSorley. Fuck yeah, dude. Mark
Garth
Recchi.
Snow,
Dude, Recchi in a pen.
Chelios.
Recchi in a Pens jersey is fucking crazy to me. Alexander Kurbiev.
But I have I have a
Kurbiev.
baseball one and a football one like this, but I don't know where they are. Probably lost from a storage unit or something. Art Dorrington.
Fuck yeah, you should get that.
This is where I pulled this out there, really, the Bullies cards.
Is that a Luke Curtin?
Luke Curtin. I didn't remember these guys. John Campbell. Carl Karazin.
Wait. Go back. What was on the back of that? Bagels? Oh, no. Who's that?
I don't know.
Who is that?
Pat Flatley, New York Islanders.
Never heard of him.
When the New York Islanders visit Chicago, Pat treats his teammates to a hearty bagel break at his own delicatessen and restaurant. His brother Wayne, who used to sell bakery equipment, was the one who started Pat in the business and has now become a popular spot.
That's pretty sick.
So yeah.
Something like that is
I was just like, oh shit, I have cards right behind me. I wonder if anything is of value.
Something like that is probably... You probably got some good shit in there.
I got Wooly, dude.
Oh, dude. That you should frame and put on the fucking wall, dog.
I do have a Bully stick up there.
I see that.
I
like your shrine to fucking Dale, too. Like, that was... I have one of those, but it's...
It's not a shrine to Dale. There's actually no Dale.
There's a Gordie Howe one of those in my dad's office somewhere, but it's like... The fucking Haviline 28, whoever that is. I don't
That's Ernie Irvin.
Ernie Irvin. Whoever
He
that
didn't die. His career got ended because he got like maimed and was blind in one eye from a wreck, but he didn't die or anything. That's a signed
really?
Ernie Irvin. Probably not worth much, but I found that in my grandmom's collection. I also found a signed Michael Waltrip hat. I was with her when she got that.
That's pretty sick.
That's the program for my first ever cup race I went to, so I had to put that up.
Nice.
The one to the left is J.D. McDuffie. He died in 1991 at a race, but he was
J.D.
like
McDuffie reincarnated.
Yes.
Did he get hit in the fucking eye or something?
He went into a wall doing like 200 miles an hour.
Hey, right wall. That's probably me. Hey, man, J.D. Shout out.
Yeah, there's no Dale Senior stuff up there.
Well, anyway, the
Dale
style
Jr.
of the wooden plaque thing with the gold emblem, I have one of those, but instead of it being the race emblem, it's like the crossed hockey sticks over a hockey puck, and it's got fucking I think it was fucking I just said it too, but I don't think it was fucking
I had like a football.
Oh, it was Bernie Perrant. That's who it was. It was a framed Bernie Perrant, and it's like signed. But then we got it looked at, and the guy was like, "That's a fake ass signature." I was like, "Oh man!"
I had one like that, but it was Dave the Hammer, and then I had like
Nice.
a McNabb one or something too, but it wasn't signed.
Do you ever see the ones when did you ever go to an Eagles game back when it was the Vet?
I went to one Phillies game the last year because my mom's like, "You got to see this before they fucking get rid of it."
You gotta see this shithole before they implode it.
I just remember the Wolf Pack.
Wolf Pack was
Randy
fucking
Wolf
sick.
era.
Yeah, man.
And Randy Wolf was pitching, and the Wolf Pack was going fucking bananas.
They were fucking good eggs. I have a poster actually of all that season. It's like all the fan clubs for all the pitchers.
You
got
NASCAR cards.
Oh hell yeah! That's a random hockey player in there.
Dale Jr., Mark Martin. Some of these might be actually the Kelly Cup.
That's
Simone Gagne, John LeClaire.
Arts and crafts.
Honestly, unless it was worth like, $5,000 or something, probably wouldn't sell it just because it's fun when I remember it's there once every 5 years. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, Garth Snow. Like it's like I don't know.
That app is exactly how.
Sorry, I knew that was gonna happen.
God damn it.
I saw you winding that up. I'm like, Ash is about to go everywhere.
Yeah,
so glad I shot back. It's fine.
I'm a mess today, man. I don't know what happened. Dog was fucking salty yesterday. She had fucking horrible gas.
Do you have any like old card collection players?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Baseball cards.
I'll break it out on the pod next time too when we're at my house. Yeah, I got like one that's a binder that's that thick of just baseball cards that are like my selections, and then my dad has 4 printer paper boxes filled with baseball cards and hockey cards and football cards. And, like, they're not in the greatest of conditions, but they're complete teams from complete years. So, like, he's got, like, a 74 to 78 Flyers roster in complete card sets that are worth, just as a complete set, they're worth their weight in money. But, like, they're not good quality, so you're probably not going to, like, fetch top dollar for that. But, like, what you could do is you could sell those to somebody who wants that specific year for complete teams, and they can, like, trade you up something. So it's like, you might have, like, mid-tier quality, an entire 74 Minnesota North Stars, but I need that team to complete my 1974-1975 roster collection. So what I'm going to do is I'll trade you, like, a really nice fucking... Chris Chelios sign card or something like of equal value that will fetch you about the same money for what I need to make my collection worth more. And, like, that's how it works. And there's, like, a lot of intrinsic, but, like, there's also, like, cool little side deals like that.
Shucking and jiving.
So my favorite is I got a signed Jim Tomei rookie card, and he signed it for me personally and told me that
Keep swinging, kid.
I told him that he gave my mom a baseball on Mother's Day during warm-ups, and he was like, "Where's your mom at, kid?" And everybody laughed, but I didn't realize he was trying to hit on my mom. It was pretty funny. I also told Greg Jeffries he was my mom's favorite player, and Greg Jeffries said she's cute. It's like, I didn't realize I was just whoring my mom out as a fucking child. All these athletes and socialites. What? All right, even outside of sports memorabilia, I got some cool memorabilia at my house. I got a lunar module from NASA back before they used to run computer simulations on like how to land the modules and like rovers and stuff like that. What they would do is they would take like a series of like stopwatches and timers and stuff, and like they would make conditions that replicate the perceived gravity on the moon and run the simulations of the landers with like physical objects that are like, scale and weighted to like replicate like what the size and everything, so that they could simulate what the moon landing, so they could like hone in the speed and like the trajectory and stuff of like how to land on it. And I have one of those samples that's like made of balsa wood of the lunar module on my dresser back home. My grandma got that from, I think, when she was in like Cape Canaveral or fucking Texas or something. But the biggest one, I think, and it is just, I find it strange that my family of all people has this. We won it at an auction somewhere. But my grandmother won the deck bell from the Queen Mary. We have that for some reason. Yeah, I don't know how.
Is the Queen Mary significant?
It's like a boat. It was like a real popular vessel out in like the West Coast. It didn't sink or anything. It was just like a very elegant ship or whatever. And my grandmother bid on the bell from it, the deck bell from it, at an auction, and we won it. So it's in my aunt's attic.
That's the funny thing, is that's usually where these things end up.
Bro, like
they're either on display in some man cave like this, or they're just like shoved in a storage unit or like in an attic.
I like mine. My posters, I have those 2 Warren Miller posters. They're my mom's posters, but they're like mine now. But they're signed Warren Miller posters on my wall in my office. I love those because like those are something that nobody knows those are valuable. If you broke into my house and you looked at, like, nobody would know those are probably worth like $700 a piece, and they're nicely framed and matted and like taken care of too. They were signed by him, verified, authenticated, the whole 9 yards. But like nobody knows who Warren Miller is, let alone like
baseball player. Or
no, Warren Miller is he made ski documentaries back in like the 60s and 70s.
So random.
And yeah, so he's like one of the main reasons I went to film school was like weird fucking mix. Bam Margera, Warren Miller. You know, you get what you pay for. But yeah, Warren Miller he was my favorite thing about him was he motivated me to move out to Colorado and live there because he lived at the mountain I lived at in the parking lot and would just have a little film studio set up in his van and like would go up on the mountain during the day and shoot people skiing with this camera and come back down to his van, live in his van, and edit everything by night in his van. And I'm like, that's so fucking hardcore right there. I love that shit. And he would do that for years until he finally got like momentum and like they're like, hey, we'll throw some money at you and give you a budget. You want to go film the U.S. ski team over in like Switzerland? So yeah, like it just springboarded him into a monumental career documentary filming skiing.
He was ahead of his time.
Dude, brilliant. And there's 2 claims to fame. My personal favorite claim to fame is that he has a quote, and I love it, and it's that if you don't do it this year, you'll be 1 year older when you do. I think that's a very good mantra to live by. It keeps you hungry for more, and it always makes you kind of end on...
I feel like I've heard that recently, and not from you. Like
really?
On a Rogan podcast or something.
Maybe.
Some podcast, I feel like I've heard that.
He's a profound dude. I love Warren Miller, but yeah, if you don't do it this year, you'll be 1 year older when you do. And he would always end his videos with that. Thought it was very cool and very motivational for people in life, but also in skiing because it's
a very optimistic viewpoint.
Exactly, I like that. He never ends on a down note. Even though the ski season might be over, he always finds a way to make you like smile and look forward to the next one. But he also is most known, and this would probably be the only thing that you would know him from. Is you ever see Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
You know the intro of Malcolm in the Middle where the guy is skiing on fire and like jumps off a cliff?
Not off the top of my head.
It's like all the Malcolm in the Middle intro is like a bunch of like TV clips edited together. But yeah, that's from a Warren Miller movie from like the 70s. It was like some dude who's like claiming to fame was he would light himself on fire and then jump off cliffs on skis and like land it and like stick it. And that was like his thing. Back in the Evel Knievel days, you know?
You can make a living doing that.
That was just it. Like, yeah, dude, like you could be a fucking stunt man doing that. And he would like go out like Idaho and like light his back on fire and jump off a 25-foot like incline on fucking, we're talking like 70s too, so these are like wooden skis, like some big fucking like 20-pound apiece.
Sherwood,
fucking
like
yeah,
curve,
bro,
dude.
yeah, like dude, trying to fucking steer one of those down a fucking hill, like get the fuck out of here. No metal edges either; they're just planks of wood. Like fuck off. But yeah,
set yourself on fire while you do it.
Hey, fucking living La Vida Loca. I love that guy though. Warren Miller is like one of my favorite. You want to get back on obscure shit we own though too, like weird fucking random artifacts and like memorabilia. One of my favorites is we have a Cal Ripken poster, and my mom was obsessed with Cal Ripken too. She loved Pat Croce. She loved Warren Miller. She loved like all these authors and stuff. She was always like
Pat Croce was an author too.
Yeah, he wrote a book about fucking like self discipline and like motivation and stuff.
What was this guy? Like what the fuck?
Like he was just like an inspirational,
just like a local entrepreneur,
inspirational fella. Yeah, but
what the fuck?
My mom loved him, man. She loved all that shit, and yeah, Cal Ripken Jr. was one of her like favorites because she loved baseball. And she loved that he had that record for most consecutive games played, which is like, I think it ended up being in like the 3,200s, like 3,200 consecutive games played. It was something like 19 seasons. Like he played like an entire high school, like someone like could have gone to school or like be born, go through school and college, and they could have gone through the entire school system seeing Cal Ripken play baseball. Which is like insane to me, but like yeah, he had like the longest consistent streak. So she has this very nice framed photo of when he hit the previous record.
So and then the Orioles or something when he got it.
I'm sorry.
He finished his career with the Orioles.
Yeah, he was on it entirely. He was a journeyman with or not a journeyman. He was a homestay in the Orioles administration. He was,
I remember.
Very well loved, very well received. They named that park on 95 after him, and he has his kids play baseball too. So. Just overall good guy, but I like that. We have that photo of him. He's getting pushed out onto the field in a chair, like in a rolling chair, which I think is very funny. That's like he's got his hat in his hand, he's like saluting the crowd. Super fun, man. He's a good guy. I saw Crux last game too when he was playing for the White Sox. I think he was at Camden Yards, so they were playing the Orioles, is interleague play in like the spring. Kruk hits a ball to first base, runs to first, runs it out, picks up the ball, goes back to the dugout, and then some guy like 3 rows behind us is listening to the game on the radio. They're like, Kruk just fucking retired. And we're like, what? Yeah, he just quit in the middle of the game.
Got a base hit and was like,
got a base hit, picked up the ball, and then just left. Yeah, like that was it. He quit.
That's fucking why? What's the
He
story
was
behind
just
it?
old. He just didn't care. He was like always kind of a bigger dude too. Like he was notorious for not making weight for like spring training and shit. But he's just
It's a regular season game, like in the middle of the season.
It was like not even a preseason game. It was interleague play, so it was like a nothing game. But yeah, he just like got a base hit, went to first, got the ball, and then just left.
He like AB'd. He's just like, it's like peace out.
Yeah, I didn't rip the shirt off or anything, but yeah, basically.
AB is a fun segue into the brief NASCAR segment where Mark Martin, current retired NASCAR legend.
He got there.
He's a big public Gucci Mane fan. He's like a 60-year-old white dude, but always posting Gucci Mane. Somehow he got posted on AB's Twitter for Cracker of the Day or something like that.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because he posted something with like Gucci Mane or something like that.
Interesting.
And then someone was like, let's get AB in NASCAR, like some random person. And then AB retweeted it and was like, let's make it happen. And then he keeps posting shit like, I want to be in NASCAR. And it's like an AI edit of like him driving in NASCAR. And he's like, come on, NASCAR, let's make it happen. Like every day he's like publicly fucking, not chirping, but like publicly barking at NASCAR, being like, yo, give me a ride.
I want to fucking do
I think it would be so funny if somehow AB did. Well, I mean, he could. If he was not in a cup race, but like if he was approved, he could run an ARCA race. He could afford to fund it himself. It's like 25 to 50 grand. I'm like, that would be fucking, because they got Cletus McFarland running some ARCA races. Like that's where they'll bring in some like gimmicky people like that.
Fuck yeah, Frankie Muniz was on one, right? You said
he's running the full
Xfinity,
season
right?
in trucks right now.
Is that Xfinity or ARCA?
He ran last year in ARCA, and he did well. He finished like second in points, and he bumped up to the trucks. But he's with a dog shit team. He's having a pretty fucking terrible season. But
Life is
I think it would be
unfair.
hilarious if like if AB ended up in a fucking NASCAR car. But
Could you imagine if he wins, he just like rips it, or he fucking like first DNF, he just rips his shirt off, runs up to the grandstand, hops the fence.
this is a cheap joke. First ever NASCAR driver to do a drive-by.
Easy. I like it.
I don't think he would actually get approved because of his mental state, but
Yeah,
that'd be funny. But
that would be fun.
Butterbean wins ARCA. That's fun.
Butterbean?
Bean Nation. Butterbean Queen. Seems like Brendan Queen, but
Oh, I thought
he's
you
like
meant
a
like
chubby.
I thought you meant the Butterbean, like the brain
No,
damaged boxer guy.
his nickname. He was like a fat kid. He's like a chubby dude now, but his nickname his whole life is Butterbean because he like resembled Butterbean as like a 5-year-old. He's just like a chunky short dude with a mullet. He's the man. He's a character. Like he's a literal fucking character. He's got a mullet. He had a mullet painted on his helmet. Like,
Dude, you got me sold now.
he's in ARCA. He's in like, you know, the ECHL version of racing, but he's a former Cars Tour champion, which is late models. So he's definitely a wheelman. But yeah, he's won like 2 of 4 starts this year in ARCA. He's having a great year. They tried to take it from him again with these late bullshit cautions that ARCA throws, but Bean Nation holds on for the win. That was fun. And then the trucks.
Flicking mean.
There was a little bit of a controversy. Not really. Lane Riggs got into the back of Carson Hocevar in the final lap. Carson Hocevar held on, saved it, and went on to win. But as they came across the line, he flew the New Jersey State bird out the window at the guy behind him.
They're gonna be penalizing him for
No,
flying.
they're promoting it. They're posting it all over Fox on NASCAR, all over their socials.
Just him giving the finger.
The picture, the video.
That's
like,
fucking
everything.
awesome.
But now I'm like old school where I thought it was like classless.
That is
I was
classless.
because see, they give each other the finger all the time, but it's usually not on TV. Sometimes it is middle of the race, whatever. But to me, like, you know, that last shot of like you coming across the line is going to be like on TV. Like it was just like, it just seemed like you won the race. Like you still won. Why are you giving him the finger? Like if he wanted to taunt him, like give him like one of these or something. Like, yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. Like, dude, you could have said like.
Could have given him the old Elon Musk.
You could have did like a number 1, like a real one, not the middle. It was just like, I don't know.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm turning into an old man because I'm just like I'm like fucking all the kids watching, but like it's just. And the guy who did it is
there's ladies watching.
He's only like 20 years old. Like he is a kid, and he is like a super aggressive. Like
yeah, he's gonna drive like a teenager.
Record. He has a track record of being a fucking overzealous dickhead.
Hothead, yeah.
But he's a Cup Series guy now. Like he's running Cup. He just was running like a one-off, like 2 leagues. Like it'd be like fucking. I don't know, Chase Utley playing in like single A ball or something.
That time Jason Worth turned over on a fucking men's league, like a pitcher was like throwing like I think his max speed was like 78 miles per hour. Jason Worth got struck out 4 times, goes up to the plate, and this guy's like, "Who the fuck even is that guy?" And just fucking turns over one, hits a 415-foot fucking dinger out the left field.
Peter Forsberg did that in like a Swedish men's league.
That's awesome.
And he wore like a full bubble and like dressed it down and played super like slow and just awful like the first period, and then like middle of the game turned it on. They're like, who the fuck is that guy? And then they did the face reveal and all that. But
Peter Forsberg, he did the Shorzy where he's got the bubble. I have to go fucking out there with this now, but
that's fine.
I don't fucking mind. I'm gonna fucking take a.
But yeah, I like Hocevar, and I did want Riggs to win because he's a Truck Series full timer. So like Hocevar's a Cup guy. I don't really like when the Cup guys win the minor league races. You know what I mean? It's just like doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
It just feels like you're stealing the thunder from a guy who's trying to like
actually
earn their way up the ladder, not fucking. They call it bushwhacking back in the day because Cup guys they set a limit on it now, but before that was they could run as many of those races as they wanted. So back in the day, most of the minor league races were run by guys who run on Sunday. So it's just kind of like, it's just like, I don't know. But Hocevar won. I wanted the guy behind him to win. And then I was like, why is he shooting him the bird? Like, because Hocevar was driving a fucking dickhead the whole race. Like, if anyone...
Deserve the bird.
He caused the wreck in lap 1, turn 1. And, like,
Good
ruined,
job.
like, 4, like, really good drivers' days. Like, it's just like... And you're not even in this series. You're not racing for points. Like
you're just literally racing for fun at this point.
Yeah,
you're wrecking
that's what it is.
You're wrecking someone on the first fucking lap.
Yeah,
fucking
just a fucking dickhead.
dipshit.
And then, like, yeah, was blocking the shit out of the guy in second. Like, driving super aggressively and, like, throwing scumbag late blocks and shit like that. And then, like, the last lap, he got into him a little bit. And, like, they almost wrecked. They both saved it, finished 1-2. But what the guy in second, Lane Riggs, did was totally fair. Like, he didn't ship him. Like, he literally... slid up into him like accidentally, like because he sent it too far into the corner.
A little too loose going into a turn.
Little contact,
Yeah.
slide job. But like and then in the interview afterwards, he like didn't own it. He's like, yeah, I was just saying like, haha, we still won. Like me and Lane are friends. Like I'm gonna go give him a hug after this. Like, and the Lane guy was like, I don't know, he won the race. I don't know why the hell he was shooting me the bird. Like, how are you mad when you won the race? Like, it was weird. Like Carson really like walked it back in the post race interview because everyone's like, you know, why are you doing that? So like the general thing is like all the younger idiot fans on Twitter are like Carson's the man, and then like
For flipping him off.
Yeah, they're like Carson rules. Like, and I get it. Like it is edgy or whatever. If you're a fucking teenager, you're like this guy's fucking sticking it to the old man or whatever. Fucking. But all of like the veteran guys that like did podcasts this week were like, you don't do that. You got sponsors on the car. Like coming across the finish line to win. You know that you're gonna be on. Like they're all like, yeah, we give each other the finger. Like. But, like, coming across the line for the win, you know you're on TV. Like, you know you're on you're on fucking Fox right now. Like, what are you doing?
It's a little fucking balls, brazen, I guess.
And I'm shocked that back in the day, I feel like that would have been a fine or something out of NASCAR. They were a little more, like, clean cut, whatever, like, before the DEI era, but, like, not Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, like, diversity, whatever.
Equity inclusion.
Yeah. Before the woke bullshit, but they're like playing into it. Like they're posting it on their socials. Like, Carson flew the bird on the last lap. Like,
they probably.
It just seemed, and I don't get mad when, not to get on too much of a tangent, but like all of their radio comms are public, and like people will judge drivers for like spazzing out on the radio mid race. Like, what the fuck? And it's just like in the heat of the moment, I don't fault those guys for that or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah, totally.
Like I don't judge a guy for flipping each other off or, you know, having these moments, the fist fights after the race, whatever. I don't care. It just, I don't know. I just felt like he was, like, you know how people are like a bad sport when they lose? Like, he was being like a poor winner. Like, it's like, dude,
sore
you
winner.
won.
Sore winner's a huge
that's
thing.
Sore winner. Sore loser, sore winner. That's, it was just like, you're a Cup guy. Like, act like you fucking been there before. Why are you flipping off a fucking truck race. Like,
Well, okay, so here's a good example. There's like a hot mic issue right now with the MLB, and they kind of had it with the. You remember like the NHL first introduced the mics, and they caught that guy. I think it was like the first month or so that they were miking the refs. Where the ref like, it was like you know,
I needed a penalty, had to equal the score. Like, I called a bad one in the first, I had to fucking
he's
even
like,
it
I had
out.
to fucking even it out.
He's like, I owed the abs one or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I had to even it fucking out or something like that.
Which
which I like.
He's right.
I like the transparency of that. I like the honesty there, because it's like, my bad, dude, I fucked up. Like, whatever. I like that. So like, there was like 2 or 3 days ago. There was a John Boy breakdown, and it was very funny. They made Rob Lowe read it, which was like even funnier. I sent it to you, which was like, of all people, like apparently he's a huge, like I know he's a huge Yankees fan, like he's a huge New York sports fan, but I know he's like especially a huge baseball fan, baseball and football, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's a Jets fan. But anyway, I digress. Rob Lowe did a breakdown where it was a manager yelling at the umpire, and John Boy's kind of like lifted this veil where like you used to not get televised umpire manager blowouts unless it was like a big name, like for us it was Larry Boa, or like even the fucking dude Joe Torre. He was like a big one for fucking like yelling at the umps and shit like that.
I remember old ass Charlie Manuel.
Charlie Manuel will fucking waddle out there and fucking start screaming. Oh yeah, throw the hat down, kick the fucking hat, kick the dirt. Yeah, right, dude. Bro, fucking fantastic. They walk out to a round of standing ovation of fucking degenerate. Yeah,
fuck yeah,
Charlie.
Fuck you, Blue.
Yeah, dude. Just fucking Philly fans are abhorrent and they're just fucking disgusting. But anyway, like the John Boy kind of like finally like lifted this veil a few years ago when he started like doing the lip reading of like what they're talking about, and you see that a lot of it is like had to fucking make up a call because I've been calling it a little bit tight around the waist, you know, so like there's a couple of balls and strikes that you're gonna argue with me, but I had to give him the out. So like that's been kind of going down. But there was one recently where it's the Padres. The Padres are like,
what's the manager usually saying?
That's fucking bullshit.
That's fucking bullshit, Blue.
You fucking know it, Jim. You fucking know it.
I'm doing what I had
you.
to. Fuck you. You know I had to do it. You know I had to do it.
We get dinner tonight, Jim.
All fucking day. All fucking day. Low and inside, fucking Rick. What are you fucking laughing at? It's like the whole fucking, it's just a blowout, like a total fucking unhinged blowout, because it's like not going the way. But yeah, the Padres.
This guy's job's on the line. He's like spazzing out.
Angel Hernandez is on third base.
I just bought a house in Philly. I'm trying to fucking stay here.
You don't understand how much pressure this fucking team puts on me, man. You're calling balls at the knee.
Fucking Coors Lights in my fucking head every night.
They're throwing batteries at my wife in the fucking press box, you douchebag. Dude, like the kids are doing homework on me. They know this is my third fucking marriage.
Let's read the fucking manager's lips. Let's get a fucking breakdown of that.
So that's what they did. They does it every fucking time. They break down the manager arguing with the umpire, and the guy. It was the Padres. They have like a notoriously like they're squeaky clean manager. Like the manager argues, but he never like gets into these blowouts. And it's like he quoted himself, and he was accurate too, which is why it's impressive. But it was like 3 fucking times in the last 10 years, 3 fucking times, and he was right. He was like the only last 2 times the guy had any kind of like blowout arguments with the umping staff was like like 2012 and then like 2014, and then since then he's had like a squeaky clean track record, no blowouts, no getting ejected or anything like that. Ump was just making some bad fucking calls. They go to the fucking lip reading, and it's like the ump's just like, hey man, I gotta keep it fair. I gotta keep it fair. And the guy's like, that is fucking bullshit there. My fucking ass, I never come out here and argue balls and strikes. Fuck you. And it just like ended up being like, the ump like, the ump fucking got a guy. It was like right down the fucking middle. It was a fucking shitty slider. Fucking got him. Looking, and like, you know, but like there was like a ball and a strike a couple batters ago, and like in the sequence of pitches, it was like foul off. Which
it adds up over there.
It adds up. It's cumulative, but it's like lifting the veil of that, where you're like, I like when refs are more like transparent, and I think it like trickles down to the fans, like because you say you don't like that, like maybe it is like an old man thing, or like maybe it's like a, you know, just I'm conducting myself at this age with like more dignity and class, and I don't want to expose myself to things where it's like I'm correlated now with the fucking drivers flipping each other the bird. Like I want to look at the sport as like the highbrow thing that I perceive it as, and like that is classless, and it's gonna reflect poorly on the sport. I totally get, just like all of these blowouts, entertaining as fuck, but like if I was a professional athlete in Major League Baseball, I'd be like, yeah, not a good fucking look, dude. Like, not.
Is there a lot of blowouts going on? I don't watch baseball.
Especially with fucking John Boy, like, because he was a Yankees fan, but now he just does it across the board. Anytime there's like a manager argument, he's got the bad lip reading on it like hours after it happens. So they're all like a little more conscientious of what they're saying on the field and like all that shit. But it's like, I like that, but I also see where it becomes problematic because now you're getting to see like, maybe these people are like, you know, like maybe there is a little bit of like classlessness, like you're not going to be adding fans. This is going to drive fans away from it because you know that they're like arguing balls and strikes and that there's all like kind of insider. I don't fucking
Depends on the fan. I feel like it affects parents more. Like I didn't care before I was a parent. And I'm like, now I was like, what about all the kids watching this race? And it's like, who the fuck am I? So I have to check myself a little, but
that's fine.
It's come up a lot lately. Like I don't watch dirt bike professional racing or whatever, but you remember Brian Deegan from way back in the day? Metal Militia was he? I think.
Yeah, Metal Militia.
His kid Hayden Deegan or something
Haley
like that.
Deegan.
She races IndyCar lights or something like that. She sucks 1,000 dicks. No,
Girl
his
power.
son is like a legit like champion in the professional motocross league. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it here.
FMX.
I don't. That's freestyle, but the PRL. I don't fucking know. But he won the championship like 2 weeks ago. He kind of made an aggressive pass, made a little contact to make the pass for the win, or the pass for whatever place he needed in the points to get the win. It was the pass for the championship.
There you go.
People were a little criticizing him about that. I'm fine with the aggressiveness on the track, but then in his championship interview or whatever, he's like, yeah, that's what we do. Like, if you don't like it, you can suck it. And said that on like literally like NBC Sports, like Channel 4 national television, like. Yeah, and a lot of kids watch motocross racing. Like, that's huge. I feel like the target demo of fucking dirt bikes is kids.
Yeah,
like,
teenage
you know what I mean?
boys.
Like,
Like you're pretty much you're
and
capped.
like I'm fine if in the race or whatever in his comms he's like, yeah, tell John to suck it or whatever. Like, if he's talking to his team, if he's doing whatever, I'm fine. Like, with the NHL, there's a lot of chirping. There's a lot of fuck you, you're a fucking pussy. Like, I think that's
bud.
And I chirped relentlessly in my fucking glory days in high school hockey. Like, I think chirping and cussing each other out and calling someone a fucking faggot and a pussy is part of hockey. Like, that's
part of the sport.
If you can't say fuck on the ice, then like, what the fuck are we doing here? And like, I don't have a problem. Like, but they don't go out of their way to show that on TV either. Sometimes there's a hot like a player wearing a mic, like it happens in the playoffs in the overtime goals, and they have like a mic in the scrum, and like someone comes in, they're like, "Fuck yeah, boys!" Like there's always like a but it doesn't. The thing about if they don't like it, they can suck it, or the middle finger coming across the line as the winner. It's just like, again, I don't mind chirping during the heat of competition, but like I don't like sore winners. I guess like
bad
it's like
optics for like the
dude, you won. Just be like, yeah, like hell yeah, super proud of my team. Like, why do you got to be like, oh, if the fans don't like it, they can suck it? Like, you're just being a fucking douchebag. Like,
there's a winning with grace and like putting people down when you have a victory moment. Like I very much empathize. Like I get
the
exactly.
high road there to literally be like the guy he got into to pass for the championship. Just be like, hey man, Tom Smith, super good rider, like, you know, they're gonna like take the high road. They're gonna get their championship too. Like, I like when guys take the high road when like they win and then they're like, you know, the guy who got second, like he's a great driver, like they got a great team, or even the teams will win the Super Bowl and they'll be like, you know, the Chiefs are great, like the Eagles beat the Chiefs.
You got
nothing
but nice things to say about your opponent.
That's like I enjoy that a lot. Or like even when the guys who lose and are like the guy who got second was just like, hey, you know, Carson had a great race. Like, you know, we'll try next week. Like there is, and I'm not good at it, so I guess that's why I appreciate it, because I'm a sore loser. I'm not a sore winner, but I am like a fucking.
No,
I would definitely be a hothead in an interview post losing a fucking sporting competition.
Fuck you, fuck all these pussies. They're a bunch of fucking faggots.
Yeah, dude. So I'm not saying but like.
Well, okay, so like this week, I like wasn't where I was planning on going with this, but like these last few weeks, I've had like the exact thing you're talking about. I guess that's why I'm like so actually like vehemently agreeing with you, because I'm not even looking at it like, oh, I'm a dad, I want to set a good example. Like that is something that bothers me, is that people cannot win with grace, and that there is almost like an incentivization to like winning it. Like I think it's like just the YouTube and like Instagram, TikTok whole like thing of like losing
viral.
Yeah, going viral for being an asshole and like rewarding the negative aspects of like like victory, and like I think that kind of creates this like weird space in poker because like it's very surface level. Like if you're winning, your stack is big. If you're losing, your stack is gone. Like it's very visual and very like on the nose as to like what it is. But I've had like not once but twice like old people in the last 2 weeks flip out on me because they're losing sorely, but then when they win with like it's the most like
They backed into the fucking win. Like they didn't.
no, they're just like aggressive, like mean about it. Like I've never been like fuck you.
They're tilted.
Yeah, like because like I win a hand, I've never been like that. But I had some guy tell me I have too much personality. Yeah, because I'm like talking, I'm like raking in a pot. And the guy goes, "No wonder he's fucking winning. He's talking so much." And I'm like, "Whoa!" And he's like, "Yeah, like you got too much personality. I know you're a third. I know your first name's Joe. I know your middle name's John. I know you work at a seafood restaurant. I know everything about you."
It's
kid.
like literally you're making small talk.
Yeah,
Like-
and he just was, and then like later he apologized to me, but I was like, "What was that all about?" He's like,
He was on the chip,
just having a
dude.
bad day, man." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't have to like you're winning pots and you're being quiet, but the second you start losing, you're being an asshole." At like that's kind of and then there's this
He's
other
Silvio,
guy,
dude.
this other
Keep the fucking cheese on
I
the
love cheese on my
floor.
feet. I love cheese on my feet. Yeah, like that. That's cheese feet.
Gambling will bring that out.
So,
dude,
like,
though.
there's this other
especially
guy-
on a bad run.
there's
Some
this-
bad beats, dude.
Yeah, this other guy fucking I have pocket aces. He didn't know that, but I have pocket aces, and he backs into a flush. And I don't think that he backed into a flush. I think he was bet, but like it was like I bet $5, he calls. He bets $5, I call. I bet $10 on the river. He goes all in for $280. I'm like, are you trying to angle me, or are you just trying to fucking get like? Are you trying to get out of a pure bluff? And like, and I'm just asking this. I ask him that because there's the potential for there to be a high hand on the board for him, and I'm asking. Do you want you want action or do you not want action? Because if you're just looking,
So you were actually being courteous. In a
I'm
sense.
trying to figure out if this guy is like doing something cryptic because he's trying to get a high hand or not. But like, it's not something where like you're allowed to outright ask, "Hey, are you doing this for a high hand?" Because like that's collusion. But like I am extra, and it wasn't like I'm asking him what his hand is. I'm not saying like that.
So what did you say exactly?
All right, so he makes the all in. I think for like a second. I'm just like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm just like thinking. And I'm like, if you had the high in, you wouldn't fucking. It was like if you had the high hand, you had like, if you had the royal, you wouldn't fucking all in. Like so, I'm like thinking. I was like, you just have like a weak flush. I'm just.
You're
it's
saying
me
that
and
out
him.
loud?
I'm just externalizing, which you're allowed to do, especially in this situation where it's heads up. Me against
And
him,
watching
all in.
poker on TV, they do that all the time. They're thinking out loud.
It's completely with it. And on
Now,
top
if
of
he
that,
says yes, is that collusion?
no, it's not that. He could also just like outright
Be
lie and say
bluffing.
like, yes, I have a royal
Oh, I got
flush.
it.
Yeah, I got it. And then I fold. He shows me that he's got rags. Well, I just fucking believed him, so that's on me. Like, and I would not complain if he had done that. I would absolutely not have complained if he had done that. But I'm like, look, man, like I don't. If what you're doing is what I think you're doing, it's an easy fold for me. But because there's like this high hand out there, I don't know if you're trying to kill the action to get the high hand or like if you're like you want. It's just it was a weird line to take, and I'm not like asking him any questions. I'm just externalizing my thought process, and he's yelling at me. Even if I had the high hand now, we can't fucking collect it because you're talking about it. I'm like, whoa! It's not like I'm talking about the hand like that. I'm just externalizing my thought process. Like, so he
Now,
yelled.
has there been instances lately where you said they were kind of
so
the
like that-
casinos themselves were kind of sticking their nose in?
Well, that happened, and he got upset because I guess he had been deprived of a high hand previous, and then apologized to me later. Also said like I'm having a bad day, but like there's
Can they deprive?
they can, but it's like that
So
situation. They
what
absolutely
do they do? They just
they just said you were colluding, and they won't. They'll
who keeps the money though?
no one. It'll just be still up for grabs. It's just like it's in a pool. It's like called the rake. So like they take a max of $5 off the table for every hand that plays, and they put it in a pool, most of which goes back to the casino as just a profit. But then there's a small amount of that they legally have to redistribute back to the players for playing over time. And one of the ways that they distribute that is a high hand. If you get above aces full of kings or better in a half hour or hour increment, and it holds, meaning that nobody gets a better hand than your hand, then you win an extra $300.
So this is like a
$600.
side bet.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like just like a
I
little
thought you
incentive.
meant he was going to win the hand by having the high hand.
No. He just like I thought like it was like a little side bet, like I said, where I'm like, are you trying to pick off the side bet because then I'll call you because I know you're going to make more money. But if you're not, then like I'll just fold and you can take the pot down.
So you were literally just being a gentleman.
I'm just trying to figure like it's like.
But did he read it as he's trying to like?
I'm trying to angle him or something. But more importantly, what he was mad about was that I was externalizing because he's like, no, I can't even get the fucking high hand because you're talking about it. I'm like, Kevin's not going to come over here and be like, you're talking about the hand. What I'm doing is talking myself into calling you, which you would have made more fucking money if you let me do, you fucking old cunt. Like,
so you folded?
So I folded, yeah. And he's was like, it's like they wouldn't have let me have it anyway if I had the high hand. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. And then like a couple hands go by, and he's like, yeah, man, like I didn't mean to be mean. I'm like, no. You said what you said. Like, it's fine. And like we talked and like everything, but I'm like, you just didn't have to be so rude about it because like this had happened to me a week before too, in like almost the exact same situation. But the dealer yelled at me that time. The dealer in this instance was just like, I wouldn't have said anything.
Man, there's nothing worse than getting scolded by a fucking dealer at the table.
Bro.
I've had it a handful of times at the blackjack and roulette table. They don't like when you pull out your phone.
Well, that's different. Poker, yes.
I'm literally like
don't
texting my mom, like, yeah, we're leaving soon. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, they scream at you, and you're like, oh, you feel like you're in high school again.
You feel like a child.
You're getting yelled at. And then the other one, we talked about it a while ago, but I was in Mountain Bar, like, blacked out. I wasn't even gambling. I was, like, broke. I had no money to gamble. But Stu or Johnny or someone was playing roulette, and I was just hanging out, like, doing my Henny Red Bull slot trick, and then fucking like just loitering basically.
Just occupying space over here. What do you mean I have to be drink minimum?
I'm just a nuisance. Like, I'm just this really fat blacked out guy just wandering around
having a
with
good time.
No money to spend. And I kept leaning on the glass at the roulette wheel because it was super crowded. There was like nowhere to stand or anything, and I wasn't trying to hurt anything. Like, I was just like fat and winded from standing.
The table go.
Yeah, it was just tilting the fucking table. But so normally I'm like, oh shit, my bad, and I move to the other side, but I'm fucking like hammered. 11 out of 10 drunk, and I did it like 5 times, and they like threatened to kick me out, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, and I just like, we left. They were like, fuck this. They also like smoked all my homies on the fucking table too, so it was like, I was like, and we're talking all this like good sportsmanship stuff or whatever, but I was being a cunt. Like, I remember being like, fuck you, like like the first one I'm like, I'm sorry. The third one I'm like, you're taking money from my friends.
This is like,
we collectively lost $73 tonight, you fucking scumbags. We work hard.
That was my gas money to get back home. Now I gotta earn that back. Yeah, the worst is they scold you about shit that you don't even realize that like it's stuff. Like, there's not even too many of these that have happened to me, but like I don't know, I play like a random game once in a while. Blackjack I don't really gravitate towards, but like there's been a couple of times where I'll be playing blackjack and like for whatever fucking reason they just are like, you get the Nazi dealer. You just happen to sit down and it's the fucking Nazi dealer.
They don't even talk. They're just hitting you with like aggressive hand motions. Oh no!
Everybody's having a good time. All the energy's on your side of the table. And like you walk up, you get your money, and it's like, hey, I'm having fun. And then you get this dealer that just fucking makes everybody not have a good fucking time. Like, I've had that happen at blackjack like about like 3 or 4 times.
Usually an Asian robot.
No, usually just older white women. Usually, like it was like
just mean ones, like the Lavari's bartenders back in the day.
Yeah, like you get like school bus driver. I would say like their eye test, they couldn't get the CDL, so they had to go to dealer school instead. So like that, but like it was like ladies like that. But then the one was the craps pit boss that told me that he wouldn't give me anything back. He wouldn't give me my bet back or whatever. I had a field bet down and they wouldn't pay me out on my field bet. And I told them like, hey, this is my give me the fucking money. The field just hit. And they're like, no, you just put that down. I was like, go to the fucking camera. They're like, we're not stopping this game so you can get a $15 bet. I'm like, it's my fucking money. Pay me the fucking money you owe me then. And they're like, no. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm taking this. There was a contract bet. I'm like, fuck you. I'm taking this bet off. Get the fuck out of here. And they were like, okay, bye. And then I went back like 2 days later and apologized to the pit boss because I'm like, look, I don't want to fucking be like a nuisance to you guys, but like, you didn't pay my fucking bet. And they were like, we'll go check it on the cameras. Just did a lap around the fucking pit, didn't call anybody. Was like, we'll give you a $25 voucher for eating. And I'm like, how about you pay for my parking? He's like, can't do that. $25 will get lost. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And then fucking went to Noodle Bar, ate $45 worth of food. So it was a net loss.
You in theory lost 15 and they gave you 25, so
yeah,
can't be too mad. But
it was annoying because I was very like, hey, this isn't like
at least they somehow made you whole.
This didn't have to escalate to yelling at all from the get-go, because it's like you clearly were in the wrong, but you're busy.
But they do also have people trying to like
scam, yeah. Like,
I've
especially
seen
craps.
it a few times. Roulette too.
Yeah, roulette's a big one.
They
for
have
scammers.
just a random crackhead looking dude just walk by and like trying to throw something down at, like the last possible second, or like even after it's already like
Yeah. Well, remember I told you about, it's like notorious on the pod now, but like the crackhead guy while I was playing craps, and you were like, what is, like, why are you behaving differently? It's like, because that guy is a cooler. He's like going to ruin the vibe for everybody at the table, because what he's going to try and do is you get like a set amount of time to get your bets down before they give you the dice. Black people, for whatever fucking reason, think that they know something about the way you're handling the dice, and will be like, wait until they're in your hand and then be like, yo, horn high, and they have to take the dice back, and it fucks your rhythm up. And I call them coolers because that's what
why
they
did
fuck.
they take the dice back?
Because it's like they need to make sure like the table conditions are still, so like the dealers can't be like placing bets, and like, because it's craps, everything's on the table you're shooting on. So like if I'm gonna bet like a $5 horn high bet, they have to make change so that it could go, you know, like 2 on the yo or 2 on the aces or whatever. So like they have to make change and make it work. And yeah, like, so if
Just kills the flow.
So it kills the flow. Like if you're in a shooting rhythm and this like fucking crackhead comes up with a $5
He's icing the kicker right there.
Yeah, exactly.
They're literally like waiting for you about to snap the ball, and then Belichick comes around on the field.
Dude, there's this dude that, I don't know his name, but he was always at Ocean when I was like first, like, you know, like Ocean first became Ocean. I was like there pretty much every weekend when they were open, because I liked learning how to shoot, and they would have low table limits, so I would go on a $10 table and just shoot for a couple of hours, because it was like fun, you know. $200, you go up, you go down, but you're not like really making like large investments. I just want to get the dice and shoot a couple times. There was this dude who his thing was him and his buddy would go to adjacent ends of the craps table. So like no matter what end you're shooting at, it kind of like puts pressure on someone shooting, and they go on the don't come bar, meaning that like they'll get your dick off, get your peckers off
every time, dude.
Get your puckers off the table. But yeah, the don't come just means that like if you're shooting and it's a 7, you get paid automatically. But if you're shooting and it hits a point, then the point, you're laying the point, so they 7 out, you make money. So it's a strategy to go hedge. Like if you have like $100 out on the table, you take $100 and put it on the don't come, and that's a way of hedging your bet to make sure that if you 7 out, you make something back. Not the greatest of, like, even by strategy standpoints, it's not the greatest of strategies, but black people love that strategy for some fucking reason. It's universal.
Hedging, I get it, but like,
well,
you're kind of taking away from your win.
They're not doing hedging. They're just walking up cold with $100 and putting it on the don't while you're shooting. And like I said, they're doing it in tandem. So it's one dude goes to one end, and the other dude goes to the other end. And then right before you shoot, they put $100 on the don't, and then they have to like stop you, retake the dice back, set the bet, like make sure that they haven't.
Are they doing that to fuck you up?
Yeah, to fuck you up, because if you roll a 7, if they fuck up your rhythm and you roll a 7, they make money, but everybody else on the table loses. Like, so it's like kind of a
scumbag move.
A total scumbag move. But like that one time I won like $300 in 2 minutes. That was we were at Ocean with Johnny, and I think Aaron was there. I think we went to like a comedy show, and like Johnny wasn't at the show. He was just meeting his lady or something. But you, Johnny, Aaron, and maybe like Stu, we were all there. But like I had $50 in chips, and I'm like, I want to play craps, but I don't want to shoot. And you're like, we're at the sports bar. They have those craps back to your back. So I was just watching you guys at the sports bar and putting $50 on the don't come every time, and it was hitting, and I was making money, but I was watching what you guys were doing at the sports bar, and I just turned around and I had a stack, like my stack was like that big, it was like that big, and I'm like yoink, and it was like, yeah, it was up $200.
Were you doing that move?
I was doing that move, but it was just because I wasn't paying attention to the game. I didn't want to have to think. If it's like a turnaround, my money's
now,
not.
Now, is a scumbag move if you just do it legitimately and don't interrupt the flow of the game?
Yeah, that was what I was doing. I wasn't
fair,
doing.
Though. That's not a scumbag
I was
move.
doing it while the betting was open and everything. I was just betting because if I wasn't paying attention, I wanted to know that if I hear a 7, I'm getting paid. But if I'm not hearing a 7, then I probably have to re-bet again. I was just doing it to stay low, like out of the way.
Yeah, but it's a fair move. Just the way that they go about doing it is what.
Doing it in tandem to fuck you up is why.
And to delay the game before like it's about to get fucking kicked off again.
Dude, Rich Voss once said that playing craps is like you could get David Duke and Farrakhan to get along if you got like fucking a hot table. You could get like the leader of the KKK and like the Black Power movement leader to get along at the same time, because it's like fucking electric. But then you also universally will hate one person, which is fucking awesome. I have never experienced another gambling game where like you get the occasional story about like someone that's like a newbie walks up to a blackjack table or something like that, makes a poor bet, and the whole table's like, whoa, what are you doing? And like, you know, kind of bully him off the table. Craps is like, they will legitimately like tell you to go fucking kill yourself and get away from the table because you're bad luck. This was a great one too. This was
I've
actually
gotten many bruises on my shins from doing the same thing.
This wasn't even you. This was me solo Scrocco when I was staying at the Tropicana a few years ago. There was a real estate, like a realtors convention in town, but it wasn't at the Trop. There was just a lot of them staying there. It was like down at like either Caesars or like fucking Ballard.
Convention hall or something.
So it was like in that, like the meat of the boardwalk. It wasn't like at Trop, but like there was a lot of them staying there. So I'm staying there and I'm like, all right, you know what? Well, they're all fucking out. I'm going to go play some craps, like, because I don't have to worry about the riffraff. I get into like a fucking like 3-ish hour session playing craps with like, it was a couple of homies, like me and these like old dudes and whatnot. They're all like us, like smoking cigars, like just shooting the shit, breaking each other's balls. Old wops, having a good time with these guys. They're at the adjacent end of the table. Every time I get the dice, they're fucking putting odds on me. They're like, this kid knows what he's doing. He's setting the dice. I'm fucking betting on them. I'm like, hey, yo, 5 for the dealer. Where do you think he's gonna hit right now? They're throwing bets down for me. I'm loving it. Everybody's yelling. We're all clapping. We're having fun. I'm not up. I'm not down. I'm just. But you know, it's like the game's
The
fun.
entertainment value.
Yeah, you're having a good time. You're making friends. These like fucking drunk ass like 6'4" realtor guys that are just like oafishly large. Like, you know, like where I'm talking like you are like so tall and like just big that you just don't fit in places that like Joe-sized human being. Like you are double like me times 2 as one person. Like that's how it was like one of those
fucking Jeff Haas walking around.
Bro, yeah, exactly.
I would see him in high school and be like, what the fuck? And I was a big boy and I'm like,
bro,
damn.
Like we're talking like refrigerator Perry sized like guy.
Reggie White.
I'm shooting and this dude bumps into me while I'm shooting and the entire fucking other end of the table just goes, oh no. No, not even like that. They're just like, oh no, because these guys are huge and drunk. They look like the kind of guys that are just on that teetering on the edge of like, we go up, we're going to be high-fiving and everybody's going to be having a good time. But if we go, like, you lose $1, someone's getting punched in the mouth. Like, we're going to start, like, get kicked. Like that kind of, like, New York
loose
bro-y.
cannon.
Yeah, like, coked up, fucking that kind of. So, these guys are, like, bumping into me while I'm trying to shoot. And then, like, being like, I'm sorry, kid. And it's, like, clearly what they're doing is they just wanted me to crap out so they could all get the dice back their way. So, like, I just go reduce everything to a min bet and fucking crap out in, like, 2 shots. And then, like, the guys are like, come on, let's all get this going. Let's get this going. Guys down there, let's hear some action. Me and like 5 of these old wops just all in unison get up and go to another table. And these guys are like, whoa, what's the problem here?
Play like another fucking douchebags. That's
like another 30 minutes. Yeah, but it's like the etiquette is like so much higher. It's like it's not that it's a classier game, it's just the etiquette in craps is like such a different flavor of like you're not going to the casino thinking that you're going to like you know, like be like blackjack where you're gonna like, I got this figured out, I got a system and like, you know, I'm gonna turn 200 into 2,000 or something. Craps is just like, well,
I'm gambling.
I got $200 and I want to smoke crack, but I don't want to take that out of my body, so I'm gonna take it out of my wallet. And this is the exact same sensation, same exact serotonin fields are getting distributed amongst my brain by doing this, by shooting dice. Like it just is what it is.
I don't understand craps at all.
It's
fun, but like I don't know.
It's a fucking.
I feel like I'd have to play it for like hours and hours to like literally understand like the rules and like what means what.
I got some money on DraftKings right now. I could actually do like a quick like log on and screen mirror and do like a DraftKings craps tutorial. I wouldn't be shooting obviously, but I could at least like explain what I'm doing.
Alive on the air?
Yeah, like I could like go live on YouTube and like do that, like gamble, because like people do that now where they like live stream themselves playing like blackjack and shit or like slot machines.
Yeah.
So I could like do that. There's people that do that. Like I think
I'm not even like necessarily looking to learn. Like I've just accepted defeat. I enjoy when if we do go, I'll throw $100 down and I literally just tail Joey and then. So I'm literally like, did we win or did we lose? Like, I have no fucking idea. It's like the fucking Mexican kid in OCHS that didn't speak a lick of English and he's just sitting there
agreeing
in like
with everybody class, having
he's just
fun.
smiling
Like, hey,
like,
see, I recognize that hat.
New York Yankees.
See, real.
That's how I feel at the craps table, dude.
Real grand. Yeah, I like Jen. Jen came down and visited me, and we went to Hell's Kitchen and got massages and stuff at Quaspa. But then I was like, "What do you want to learn how to play?" And she's like, "Well, I've played blackjack before. You want to play something else?" And I was like, "I'll teach you how to play craps." She was like, learning how to play craps and not understanding anything going on, but because everybody was really friendly and positive, she made like $175, and like I was like mirroring her bets and like she was mirroring my bets, so like I made roughly the same. Every time she didn't want to do odds, so I'd pay for her odds because I didn't want her to have to pay the vig. So like I would like help her out a little bit. So she ended up like almost 200. I was like up like about 85, 90. You know, we had fun though. But she like at one point was like looking at how much chips, and I was like looking at her eyes get real big, and I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, I feel like I'm getting rewarded for not understanding what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the fun of it. And I was like, yeah, like you don't need to know what you're doing. Just keep handing you money. You're having a good time. Then just keep going with the flow. They're getting. She was blown away that you could like get drinks delivered to a craps table, and that they have like a little shelf for it under there. So I kept telling them to give her doubles because she could drink like way faster than me. She's French Canadian. She fucking rips fucking liquor like nobody's business. So like I was like, yeah, double. And they're like, she's like, well, I don't want to have to pay for another. And I'm like, no, it's free. Like they're just gonna keep bringing you liquor and double and duplicate. Like as long as you're on here and there's money in front of you, like they'll keep bringing you free booze. So she was like, that was blowing her mind.
She
like,
never been to a fucking casino
she never
before?
played craps. She was like used to like slots where it takes like a half hour, 40 minutes to get like a beer or whatever. But she was not used to the waitresses coming over and like knowing her on a first name basis by the end of the session. Like,
yeah.
And it was like,
that's the worst when you're on a table and you fucking. I used to like justify going to the casino, being like, oh, I'm gonna get hammered for free at least. Like I'm gonna fucking, because if you do have a long session and you could accomplish that goal. You know what I mean? Very, very well.
Sorry, Tommy and Autumn.
I've gotten blacked out like for free. I've lost or won a few $100 here and there, but the goal this night was just to get hammered, just to last long enough. I was just trying to break even, just last long enough to get drunk for free.
Yeah.
And I lost my $100 and like before the first drink even got brought to the table, and then I had to like pathetically stand like next to the table, like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm getting this Hennessy and fucking Red Bull. Like, I may be busted out right now, but that was the worst. Like, there's been a few times where I lost my whole bankroll before the first cocktail even got to the fucking table, and like that is the saddest fucking drink, because one, you lost your fucking scratch. And two, the fucking booze train is done for the night. And now I got to go to the fucking bar and spend $7 a Miller Lite if I want to drink. Like, you're cooked. Like, you're fucking done.
This was the end of the day I decided I was going to move back home from New Orleans. I had one of those moments where you're like, this is going to be the defining moment of like, you know, I either win it all or I lose it all. I had a moment where I just got my paycheck from working on Marvel's Shadows, which was supposed to be, I was promised in the ballpark of like, you know, $2,000 for working for this company. It's a Marvel show, so I should have made like decent money on it. How much do you think they paid me for 9 days of labor-intensive hopping into and out of dumpsters, breaking sets down like with a air gun, like a ball peen hammer, fucking vibrators, circular saws, all that. I'm breaking sets down and putting them in dumpsters and organizing them so we can save on the dumpsters. How much do you think they paid me for 9 days of that work?
How many hours a day? Like how many hours ballpark?
10 to 12.
So we'll just say 100 hours worth of work. I would like to. I was gonna say 100 times 20 is $2,000 an hour.
That was where my math came in. Yeah.
We'll say $1,000.
$200.
Holy shit!
And you wonder why
What is that an hour?
$2 an hour. I made $2 an hour.
You did the math.
Fucking handling asbestos. I fucking made $2 a fucking hour.
That's
working
illegal.
for a Marvel show. Fuck you, Marvel. I'm glad your fucking department is losing fucking money, because this is what motivated me to go home. But yeah, anyway. So I got my paycheck for $196. Oh, they taxed me too. $196. I made $200 on paper. $196 after taxes, because my taxes.
They taxed you $4.
They taxed me. I still subsidized my taxes, so I only made I think 1.8% when I should have been getting taxed like 3.6 ish. So like I got a little bit of extra money. That little bit of extra money didn't buy me a cup of coffee. So fuck you, Marvel. But anyway, I have my grandiose, like, I'm gonna pay my bills and everything. Well, now I'm fucking down to my literal, this is it. Like, if I can't make like another $200 in a week, I have to move. Like, I don't have any fucking recourse.
I remember this.
So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I was like, I could start selling shit out of my trailer, but I don't want to become like a pawn fiend and like, you know, just look. That's a bad look if I'm like pawning books and like DVDs and shit. Like, I don't want to do that. So I got $40 I can torch. I'm going to go to the casino in New Orleans, and I'm going to I'm going to fucking run it up as best I can. I'm going to shoot my best. I'm going to play smart. I'm going to fucking do everything I can. So I drive the 30 minutes at 3 o'clock in the morning to Harrah's, New Orleans. 30 minutes in the dark, 3 o'clock in the morning to Harrah's, New Orleans.
That's like driving from Tucko to Atlantic City. That's taking the drive.
It's fucking taking the drive. One open craps table. And what's funny, too, is I walked by. You have to walk through a sea of bubble craps. And I'm like, I could actually stretch this, get a few drinks. I could make a night of this. I could actually get my butt. Like, I could have fun trying to make a little bit of money back. There's only one live craps table open. And I'm like, Destiny's calling me. It's me and this, like, black dude and his girlfriend. They have, like, $50. I have $40. We convinced them to, like, all right, like, it's a $15 table, man. You can drop it down to 10. 4 bets, 4 losses.
Oh.
My drink, I ordered a coffee. I didn't even get an alcoholic beverage. My coffee didn't come. I had to go find the waitress on the floor, and she hadn't even made it yet. And she's like, no, I'll get it to you when you get back to the table. I was like, you don't understand. I'm leaving. And she's like, oh, yeah, here. And like just walked behind a wall, got me a coffee, and then I was gone. I didn't even play long enough to earn enough tier points to get free parking. So I had to pay an extra $10 to get out of the parking garage. So $40 trip turned into a $50 trip.
A lot of muttering at that parking booth, I bet.
Bro.
Was it automated or was there a person there?
It was automated, but there was an attendant that would be in there for the late night because there's too many people that are drunk coming from Bourbon Street not knowing how to get out of the automated gates. So there was an attendant. She was like, how you doing tonight, sweetheart? Dead silence. Just lifted the gate, just drove off.
Damn.
But yeah, then 24 hours later, I was on my way home. Like my trailer was in storage. I was on my way home. But yeah, that was the hardest kick in the dick I think ever. It was just such an insignificant amount of money, but it was like the last of my money. Like that was it.
What was the plan? You were going to turn that 40 into 400 and be able to pay
40 into 200, like 5 hits, double up each time. Like,
and you needed 200 to pay what? Like
rent,
your lot rent?
Yeah, my lot rent. Yeah, so like I had like 196. I needed 415. I think I had like a little bit. Like this was also I was paying for booze and change at that time. So like I would like you could get 2 40-ounce.
Joey, I would have Venmo'd you $200.
Listen, man, I'm not asking nobody for money, man. I ain't of that.
And I didn't want to go there, but I know Jay would have fucking.
I mean, he helped me. He helped me a little bit, like here and there. Like I just don't like being a beggar. It's like I put myself in this situation. I'm gonna get myself out of this situation.
I couldn't make this work on my own. I'm gonna come home.
I'm gonna come home, man. Like I'll fucking come home hat in hand and whatnot. But no, like it was not sustainable. There was no work for me down there. I thought I was gonna like do that.
Bro, Joe was chasing his film school dreams, and I applaud him for it. He really fucking shot his shot. But I remember and we've talked about it on here, but there was a period in time where you were working at
Raising Cane's,
a chicken, a fast food chicken joint.
Cluck. Well, you want for $1?
Yes, so like that's how dedicated Joe was to fucking.
Do you want to hear the
Joe moved to Louisiana, lived in a fucking camper, and worked at a Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
To chase the fucking dream, and Marvel Studios has the fucking nerve. Unbelievable.
I made more working 3 days at Raising Cane's than I did working. I made $320 now that I think about it, because it was dude. Yeah, I made more money training at Raising Cane's than I did working on a Marvel fucking television show. Fuck you, Marvel. You guys are cunts. I'm glad.
Now, were you working directly for Marvel, or were you working for like an agency?
ABC Networks was who.
How did they get off? Were you an intern? Like, how did they justify paying you this little?
What it is strike work. And strike work, you know how, I don't know, I've sent you some war modes lately, but I don't know if you've ever heard Spud talk about how there's like a hierarchy of like the, like in cities, but like more around here too. There's a hierarchy of like builders and construction where it's like a Christovest is like the golden child with all the Icona properties and whatnot. But then
I thought that was called Archivest.
I have no idea how to
Desjardins.
Desjardins, whatever.
In my head, every time I see it, I'm like Archivest, and that's definitely wrong now.
I don't think I'm saying it right either.
A Christovist sounds wild.
I don't think it sounds right either. But
Archivest, Giorgetti, all the custom.
Yeah. Like, and then you got like the mid-tier Broadleys and like the HVAC companies that like also will repair your siding and whatnot. Like, but then there's like a lower tier, and it's like I understand that I exist in that lower caste of society where, as Shane Gillis once put it when he was working or heard Spud working, he was talking about like they were in some lady's house and Spud was talking about explicit hardcore pornography, like anal sex or something like that. And Shane's like, yo, why were you talking about that in that lady's house? He's like, bro, I'm like using chemicals to melt paint off of the side of a house. Who do you think handles this kind of shit? People like me. And I'm like, exactly. Who changes deep fryers and fucking like figures out what chemical concoctions to clean hood me. That's me. Like, so I know I'm within my like, I know I'm the scourge of society, but like they saw that as even less than that because I wasn't union. So they were like, oh, you want to work on our show, but you don't want to put in the dues? Oh, yeah, we'll let you work on our show. Well, they, like, spite paid me that. Like, that was literally what it was. It was just spite. It was like that I wasn't in their little club, so they could get away with paying me less, so they did. And that was, like...
But I don't understand how, because, like, that's well below minimum wage.
Because it was a union gig. That was why. They don't have to pay people minimum wage. You have to pay a union gig, and if you're not a union member, then they can pay you whatever they damn well please. Scab
Weird.
work, as they call it. Scab work is usually an inverse thing where it's like they try to get cheaper labor, but it's going to cost less overall because you're not paying the union. So I was a scab, but I was a scab applicant for the union. I just wasn't a full-timer. So they were like, oh, we can get this guy on a budget. He'll work hard for us but because he wants to get in the union and he needs days. So he's getting his days, but I wasn't getting paid for it. I wasn't getting paid like I was in the union. So I got fucked. I got like really fucked over by them. I got fucked over by the movie industry, the whole thing too. And I slowly realized too that it wasn't my dream. Like,
Did you have a blowout with the one guy who like put you onto that gig or something?
Chick. No. I when the Eagles won the Super Bowl because they were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, I texted my old boss Sue because I don't like her very much. She's a misandrist, and I told her like, hey, it's really cool seeing you at the Super Bowl. Oh wait, your fucking stupid team wasn't even in the fucking playoffs this year. And thank you for building all the sets and shit. And she was like, fuck you. I was like, I also like doubled down. I said something to the effect of like, yeah, thanks for being a terrible host city. I wish it was the Bills against the fucking Eagles so that we could have had like a true blowout and the North would have truly reburnt fucking New Orleans to the ground like we should have in the fucking 1800s. Like a whole bunch of unhinged shit like that.
How long after?
Oh, minutes after the Super Bowl.
No, how long after this gig falling through did?
So that was I quit in 2019. So like 5 years ish. Like there's no way I'm getting hired back on it.
Several years.
She probably doesn't.
I didn't know if it was the first Super Bowl like a year later.
No, this was this year. This was
a decade later.
Yeah, this was this year, and I stopped working for them.
When was the last time you talked to her?
COVID. Like the COVID, she someone called me from the union and said Sue reached out and I want to make sure your trailer was secured because people are like looting during COVID.
Oh my God.
That was like the last time she remembered me was like, yeah, make sure that your like shit's locked up.
So you're literally 5 years later.
Yeah, 5 years later,
bitch,
gets a cold text from a drunken, distraught,
very late at night, like 11
2
p.m.
o'clock in the morning. I'm handling firearms. I'm hammered. I'm
Send
like,
her a picture holding a gun at the
yeah,
fucking
like
camera.
I am just fucking a
coming for
mess.
you, Sue.
And then like it wasn't even the next day. It was like 2 days later. I just get this like super confused. Like, who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that? And I just never responded. But like it was like a horrible host city. We weren't even at the Super Bowl, and I'm like, oh yeah, she totally like I was. She doesn't even know I was mad at her. That's like kind of the funny thing. She doesn't even know like I have like harbored
just
this
resentment. Insane,
this fucking
vitriol
crazy
level of heat coming her way. She doesn't even know why.
She's got like a crippled son too. She's got like real fucking things to like deal with, and I'm just like,
was it her fault that this?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like it was absolutely 100% her fault.
Did she work for Marvel?
No. This was different shows. I worked with her on other shows, but I was so. The timeline is I get to New Orleans. I start working for this guy named Sean. And Sean is like a hired gun. He's what they call a set ninja. Whenever you need something kind of finished.
A set.
Yes, sir.
Ninja has a new meaning in our lexicon.
Very
she.
Oh, she. So Sean was like my boss, and I was always like directly working under Sean. I was always hired directly under Sean. But then we got into this weird situation where to get one of the movies, I had to be hired under Sue. But I was still like there was just a backroom handshake agreement that I wasn't Sue's like employee. I was Sean's employee, and Sue took that to be extremely offensive, even though it was agreed upon with everybody else except her. So like she would, because I was a man, first off, pick on me because I would get lectures on how she used to do wallpapering in an entirely female company. And I made some offhanded comment after the third time I was told this fucking dipshit story about like, oh, there were all female wallpapering company called like the Wallflowers or something like that. And they would show up, they'd blast chick rock. It was really cool. I was like, sounds fucking gay. I'm sure that if you hired a Mexican, it would get done half the time with like less
Muy
fucking
rapido.
bickering. And like their jaws dropped. They were like, whoa! And I'm like, Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys are like liberal women. Like fuck, my bad. So like they hated me off the
you're
bat.
a fish out of water.
Yeah, they hated me. So like every opportunity they had where I was doing something that she deemed like I was.
Seems like you proved her right 5 years later.
Yeah, fuck her.
This guy's a piece of
Hey,
shit.
guess what? I'm not the 50-year-old woman trying to cram my fupa into fucking leather pants to go perform fucking cover songs at a shithole bar in the middle of nowhere, New Orleans, because I'm having a 50-year-old old cunt identity crisis. You fucking bitch. Fuck you and your fucking leather skin and your fucking Joshua Tree fucking nonsense. There's a reason you couldn't hack it in Cali. There's a reason you couldn't hack it in Vegas. It's because you're talentless. And you have to surround yourself with other fucking dumb liberals that have to sit there and mindlessly applaud you because otherwise they won't get work. But guess what? I didn't. And I'm going to call you a cunt all the fucking way to the fucking grave. You absolute hole. Fuck you. Fuck your art. And fuck your wallpaper. Like, it's honestly, like, it was just, like, a miserable fucking human being to work for. And I was told multiple times, oh, normally men don't do things like that. Like, it was a pure sexism thing. It was, like, purely a sexism thing. So, every gig I had after that, I was, like, considered for a bunch of them. And, like, Sean would be like, yeah, show up here on Monday at 9 a.m. Get the call.
Joey's there, 8:45.
8:15, I'm in the car out front. Hey, man, you're not hired. Sorry. But, like, hang around. We might need workers. So I'd just be going to New Orleans and getting drunk at bars till, like, 2 in the afternoon every day, waiting for my phone to ring. But nope, so you didn't need anybody. So, and I was a guy, so I wasn't getting hired again. And then, luckily, this one dude, Piro, was like, hey, we need someone for strike work. Like, it's going to be labor-intensive, but you'll get paid well. That was a lie, too, but at least his heart was in the right place, and he got me, some extra days that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten to. But no, literally, this woman just screwed me over because I was a man, and it was because, she preferred to work with women. That's fine. I was hired to work for this guy, so you can work with your broads or whatever, but, she would mixing cement. We have to get a shot done that day. I'd show up at 6 a.m. with a deadline for noon. 11:15 rolls around, I'm fixing my last 2 buckets, and I'm like, all right, we're almost out of Louise. Get yanked off the fucking bucket by my ear by this woman. Why aren't you fucking washing my paintbrushes? I have a set to paint. I'm sorry, I need to finish this thing that I'm doing right now, which, the cameras are here, the gaffers are here, the talent's on fucking hand. I'm in the other room mixing this cement so that it can dry fast and they can get the shot done today. But no, I'll stop what I'm doing to go fucking clean your paintbrushes. And then she'd put me in, a corner of her fucking shop where, I don't get to listen to music, I don't get to see daylight. I'm just, in a corner fucking with a steel wool fucking brushing fucking paint off of these brushes. And God forbid I lost one. God forbid I lost a paintbrush. Because they're what? $3 a piece? People that are professional painters, like the nylon, heavy duty fucking Glidden fucking nice cut brushes. Those are small little brushes and they're about $12 a piece. It's $12 fucking dollars. You're making $72 an hour. God for fucking bid I misplaced one of these things. I almost got my fucking head bit off because, where's my cut brush? I don't know. Where's my trim brush? I don't know. Did you check the drying rack? The fact that you're not paying attention to where my important tools are is a sign of why you shouldn't be working on the movies. My boss took me out for margaritas at lunch and was like, I've never heard someone get yelled at like that. And you wonder why I'm such a high-strung misogynist. These are the fucking women I encounter, bro.
Fire that bad boy up.
Fuck, man, I think I need to take one.
I rarely see you go on a fucking... You sounded like me talking about DoorDash.
There's my life, man. You think I want to live in...
We struck a fucking chord. We got to the meat and the potatoes
You really
today,
wonder
folks.
why, I hate the South. It's because, everybody down there is like that in some facet, but, it's just specifically that woman... ruined it. I'm sorry, the South. Will, I love you. Jamie, I love you. Sterling, you're the fucking
You just don't like
shit.
Cajuns.
It's not even Cajuns. It's just people that think that they're fucking... They have this, sense of superiority because it's we're, impoverished or, we're reveling and living in poverty or something like that, so therefore we're, more...
There is
more
a
function.
north-south, more so... I mean, I guess Northerners do make fun of Southerners, too, but there is a contingent of Southerners that, legitimately don't like Yankees, as they call us. So,
Yes, all of them.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's every fucking Southerner I have met. Like that Minnesota nice thing was what I was telling you. Brenna coined the term Minnesota nice, and you think like you're spot on. It's like a Midwestern thing where it's more like
bless your
Fargo.
heart.
Yeah, but like it's a thing where you say one thing, but your intention is something purely different, and it's like that's how the entire operation in the South. Like if you see a Confederate flag, you're gonna be told some bullshit that means some other bullshit, and it's like up here, it's not like that. Fuck
It
you,
ain't
fuck
even
you.
about slavery. It ain't. It's heritage. It's about that rebel spirit.
Yeah, what? Like, why do they still fly that flag? Like, you watch NASCAR? Like, I know that
They
there's like
banned
some-
it in NASCAR like a decade ago. I don't know.
What is the sentiment? Comment below if you understand the sentiment of why you fly.
Well,
the
they
rebel
fly
flag.
it based. They're like, if you look up the war, it wasn't fought based on slavery. It was fought based on freedom or something. And it's like, yeah,
states' rights.
freedom to enslave people was pretty high on the docket. Like, let's be fucking real here.
I
Like,
want to actually get to the meat and potatoes of it. I just listened to the War Mode, the Beast from Jekyll Island. It was a complete fed. It was a bankers' war, and nobody wants to talk about how it was a bankers' war. It was 100% a bankers' war. The South was more favored by the French and the Spanish, but like the French, and then England controlled Canada. So you got to think we're in the middle of those two factions. Which England is a world superpower in 1860 still. And Spain is like, they have the entirety of South and Latin America. Like, those two forces are arguably like number 1 and number 2 in the world. And then number 3 is Russia. Like, the Slavic, the empire. It was before the USSR, obviously.
Ottoman Empire or something.
No. It was Russia, but it was like, it wasn't all the USSR countries. It was like Russia, pre-Soviet Russia was just a kingdom. So it was like a federation, but like, with actual monarchs and shit. Like King Nicholas and Queen Alexandra, the Anastasia's parents, or Anastasia, you call it, but Anastasia. But anyway, so like them, that's like the monarchs of Russia is like who's in control. So what was going on during the Civil War was we were in a shitload of debt because we got cut off from trade from Britain, like outright. Like we were involved in the triangle trade, but it was like pretty much everybody had their hand in the cookie jar, and we had been like, making all this like for the last like 75, 80 years, like this rah, like we're independent, we don't fucking pay taxes to tyrants, blah, blah, blah. So like Britain's already chomping at the bit to get back at us because they're like, oh yeah, you don't want to fucking pay your taxes? Like, we'll fucking wait till you guys kick the shit out of each other and then take over. And then Spain also is like, well, we own Louisiana and like some of Florida and like Mexico and stuff. So like we have a vested interest in this going our way, and like Britain has a vested interest in like the North. So like we're just going to let these two factions, like the North and the South, duke it out. Because we're owed debt. Like, whoever wins is going to have to pay us regardless. So we'll just let them kick the shit out of each other. But then, if it wasn't for this one little thing that happened, Britain also instigated Russia, and I forget how exactly. It was like, I think it was like Britain and France were both like trading with Russia, and like one of them gave them better deals or something. And they were like, well, they met us halfway. Could you meet us the other way? And then they just put a flat out embargo on Russia. So Russia sailed all the way from Asia to San Francisco and was parked in the port of San Francisco for the duration of the Civil War, waiting to invade from the west.
Damn.
So there was literally three humongous
I've never heard that.
Three humongous armies that were all banker backed. Like, these were like pre-Rothschilds and like, JP Morgans and stuff like that. These were like their grandparents that were like, oh, they're not paying their tea taxes. They're not paying their cotton taxes. They're not paying their slave taxes, their sugarcane taxes. So like, we'll just wait for them to kind of like slip up a little bit and like knock a large portion of their population out and then just invade. And that was like the whole plan. But like Russia was kind of that belligerent that like made it a wild card, so they didn't know what to do. And Civil War just kind of endured. It was like that. But yeah, it was never really like about slavery. It was about like people being owed taxes. But like that's the real macro. The North versus South was about states' rights.
The way it's sold to you in the public school system is it was entirely fought
over slavery.
Yes. And that the South was bad.
Apparently Lincoln said...
So that's why when I see people flying it, I'm like, you're a racist. Which usually they are. Usually it's fishing with dynamite.
It's not exactly like you're flying that flag because you want...
Especially when you're in the North. When you're in the Union and you're driving around Corbin City flying a fucking Confederate flag.
When you're flying that flag, it's like you really are reveling. It's the same to me as flying a Nazi flag. You are reveling in the fact that you are a loser and that you are a sore loser at that. Which I guess this could be the theme today.
It's just being an edgelord too.
It is. It's being an edgelord, but I always see it as like people who are like the South will rise again. We've been here for the last 150 years. Take a shot, dummies. You can't because you guys vote yourself into liberal obscurity every fucking time. Anytime you get momentum with a conservative politician, oh, well, that means the Gibbs are going to stop. And you forget that white people are just as lazy and fucking impoverished as black people down south. So they'll keep voting the people that give them the free shit. And guess what? Nothing changes. They're going to eradicate themselves well before the North does, and that's kind of like what's the beauty of it is that they can't exist without Walmart. What is Walmart? It's just a high fructose corn syrup fucking dealer, and you're like,
all right,
they're fucking retards, man.
All right. Stop! He's already dead. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so, yeah,
you're like a Christmas story, just sitting on the south chest, just fucking feeding them.
And then you got to think of like when it's the Flyers, like they have the fight, and like it's that, and it's like, hey.
Jeez Louise.
I don't know, fucking teeing off today, brother.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Breathe. That sounded like my inner monologue when I get like extremely angry about something. It's just like
I woke up.
It was like seeing it from third person. I'm like, oh, I'm mildly uncomfortable right now.
Waking up on the wrong side of the bed sprocket today. Talk about cake on my face.
That was awesome. That was art. There is something about just blowing your fucking top.
Blowing your gas.
That was nice.
Fun,
that was well done.
I didn't say the N word either. I was really
I feel
happy
like I gotta take a breath, dude. Holy shit.
I feel like we need to end on a high note or something like
I was
that.
getting yelled at by my dad or something. I'm not Southern. I didn't do anything.
I just like that the cars drive
I agree with
fast.
you.
I like black people.
I'm not gay.
You're gay.
I promise. You're gay.
Dukes of Hazzard was an okay show. Smokey and the Bandit wasn't that good. Selleck just has an... Or it wasn't Selleck. Fuck, it was Burt Reynolds just has an R8 mustache.
I remember Schuler had the Dukes of Hazzard horn on his truck, and I feel like... I might be making this up because it's like... This might be a Burt story, but I think people were like, that's racist.
What, to the Dukes of Hazzard?
To have a Dukes of Hazzard's
absolutely.
horn. And he was like, it's just a TV show.
Well, it's a Battle Hymn of the Republic, so it is a Confederate horn. That is a Confederate ditty. So, yes, that is absolutely 100% racist.
Well, we were firing that thing off going down fucking Central Avenue in Ocean City, dude. That was the coolest fucking truck ever,
I bet,
dude.
man. The thing was fucking great. He used to park that next to the Blazer, and it was him, Tommy Rink, Max Gandolfo, me, Schuler. Fucking who else? A couple other Tuckahoe heads out there. But yeah,
the truck was so old that it wasn't like electric. It like ran on like an air pump. So like you would hit the button and there'd be a delay and you hear like a fucking compressor turn on. Yeah, dude, it's like this mechanical fucking.
You gotta really think about who you're gonna. Should like replace it with like higher pressure, like lower pressure gas too. So it's like. Like
helium.
Yeah.
Well, nothing honestly beats Joe's fucking PA system days where you're sitting in a parking garage rolling up a backwood and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. You can't roll that here, faggot.
My favorite was Mark didn't know I had it in the truck. And
anytime,
yeah.
Dude, anytime leaving an event, like
I don't think we really talked about that too much
Joe
on here.
was using this thing like in traffic, like dude, super illegal, like big traffic line trying to get out of like the garage at Hard Rock or something, and Joe just like he would use it on his friends, and like I'd understand that, and then just like to randomly be like, boop, can't park there, get out of the way. It's like he's fucking using this thing in the wild, like, and you actually did say like you would use it in like road rage incidences like all the fucking time. Like that's so
the
fucking.
fact I never got a ticket.
I can't imagine being in road rage and just getting chirped over a fucking PA system. Like that's checkmate every time.
I might need to get one for the fucking whip.
No,
like,
you don't. No.
I might need to get a truck.
I was shocked that you got rid of the PA system.
Bro, I'm shocked I got rid of that
You
truck.
should have finagled that into the deal. Like, I'll get this truck if you guys uninstall and reinstall my PA system.
They overlooked quite a few stains on the back seat, so I think we got evened out. Helps to know a car dealer. But anyway, yeah, the fucking PA system, the one that Jamie and you both told me independently, like, yeah, you're gonna get shot doing that, was when I'd be hammered drunk driving home from work at like 1:30
These
in
are
the
things
morning.
you shouldn't talk about on the internet.
I would be driving home drunk. I mean, this was
I was hammered.
Statute
driving.
of limitations on this was well up. If you could find a 2014 Toyota Tacoma in metallic silver with a PA system and a bunch of it's held together with stickers, yeah, that's not me anymore. So you go find that guy and arrest him. But anyway, I would go into the drive-thru at like like there was the Taco Bell had like a quick escape route, so I would like get in line and like wait till I got up to that point, and then just wait till the person in front of me was ordering and just go Whopper, no pickles, extra French fries, and then like it was like a gangbanger who's like also just as drunk, being like, yo, this fucking, it's the guy
This
behind
ninja's
me.
wild.
It's just this guy
This fucking
behind me,
ninja's tripping,
and he's
dog.
like looking at me like, what the fuck, and I'm just laughing and like, extra mayo, and they just put it in drive and drive off like down the side street where they're like stuck in the drive-thru going the other way, so they have no idea like what
This crack is crazy.
yeah,
dog.
I told that to, I sent you a snap of it one time, and you're like, you are going to get shot, and then like I sent the same
You were
snap.
like giggling like a child, like
Oh my God,
a schoolboy.
it's so much fun. I would do it back at there. You ever get the automated one at Taco Bell? The best was when they first put that in there. I would
Hey,
hit them with the PA system.
Sorry, we're closed. Like they get
Yeah.
you with that fucking.
You roll up online order for you today, and it would be like hot, and like, I'm sorry, you have to repeat hot, like but through the PA system, and it's just like you like the lady's like hi, like she sounds like real hurried, like hi, I'm sorry, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, I think your microphone's messed up or something. Yeah, it was making weird stat. Anyway, I'll just have the 2 chalupas and like
Ordering through the PA system is wild, dude.
Bro.
And
Such
then pick it up through the PA system. Thank you. Have a good day. Fucking
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch.
Man, I miss that thing. I miss like things you could do. There was like having an air horn as a kid. That was like giving a
I didn't like
12-year-old
them.
an air horn is a bad idea.
I
But
had friends put them up to my ear.
So
Dude. Fucking
much-
really bothered me, dude.
so much fun though when you're the
Laser pointer was more my
when you're the
jam.
sprayer, not the sprayee.
I like shooting laser pointer at airplanes, and I'd be like,
That would be
how are they really gonna catch us, dude?
that. What's his name?
my friends-
Rainbolt figured it out. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, the people were sending him videos of people that like live under airports and they're shooting the green high vis lasers at airplanes, and he like called like 4 of them. It's like, yo, I'm not doing that ever again.
This was like 2002, like after the 9/11 thing, and like air shit was super.
Oh fuck, that's not
Yeah,
good.
I won a cheap laser pointer at the Kid Casino on the AC Boardwalk at Steel Pier or whatever.
The
I
Ninja Casino.
actually hit a fucking jackpot and like got like a disco ball, a fucking teddy bear. The laser pointer was the big
an 8
grab.
ball?
Got that out back from Puerto Rican dishwasher, but
How many tickets for cocaine? 10,000. I need to get a new set of plates for my Hermosa. Hermana.
it's funny too because again, this was a prize at an Atlantic City Kid Casino. It was a cheap Chinese piece of shit. It broke after like one day, and I was so upset about it that I had my mom. We went back to the kiddie casino like the next day and tried to get them to swap it out, and they were like,
No.
They literally like
All
go.
sales
They were
is
like, go
final.
fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Like get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they were like, no, we're not giving you another fucking free laser pointer.
You know, I didn't know if my friend was doing this as a scam or if he actually got beat for it, but I think it was CJ. If it wasn't CJ, it was his brother Ryan. But they were on the Wildwood Boardwalk when they were kids, and you remember how there was like those PlayStation 2s and Xboxes when they first came out? It was like you could put like
They still have
$50.
them.
Like you put
I
like
watched my boy lose like $700 trying to win a PS5
Yeah.
in Lucky Snake, like in Atlantic City,
Yeah.
like a year ago.
damn, that's rough.
It wasn't in his head. He was like, it's just these points on this card, and I'm like, bro, you just did like each point equaled $1, and it was like,
He did like 800 points.
yeah, literally, and he did. It was like 5 points a fucking go, and he did it 30 fucking times or something ridiculous. Like he
Shit.
did it for a while. It might not have been 700. It might have been like 300 or 400.
Still,
or
like
something. It was
multiple,
like
3
yeah.
digits. Like
Yeah, like more. He did more than the cost of like a used PS5 would have been. Like, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the money at that point. It was like a personal vendetta against this machine, and we had to be like, dude, there's definitely bricks in those boxes.
I-
And, like, the
okay, that's exactly
it's
what-
literally rigged. Like you're not
that's
you're not
what-
gonna hack this machine. It's impossible to fucking.
this kid, whoever it was, CJ or Ryan, they were on the boardwalk, and it was like one of those games where it was a game of skill. Like you had to like throw 3 of the balls in the bucket or whatever. They did the top pay tier with and they nailed it. They actually got it, and I think what happened was they have like the boxes that are just there for display. And, like, the guy probably doesn't dish them out very much. So he's like, oh, like, yeah, this is heavy. There's probably something in here. And just turned and gave the prize to whoever. And they walked, it looked like sealed, too. So they, like, walked all the way back to their car, drove all the way back to Upper Township.
There's
got
bricks
home.
in the boxes?
And it was literally, like, a couple bags of sand. And they were like, fuck. So they drove all the way back to Wildwood, and the shift had changed over, and the guy was like, no, you're trying to scam me. You're trying to scam me. You're trying to scam me. No, I'm not honoring that. So they like scoped out that fucking game for like 2 whole fucking days to find the guy, and then like got the guy and the manager and be like, yo, this is what you gave us. And like the guy eventually was like, all right, fine. And they forked over, like, I think they gave them their money back. I don't think they left with a new
Fuck
Fiat.
that.
But like
That's bullshit.
they fucking like they were like fucking screwed. But like his mom was like, no, I'm not leaving here with just a box of sand. Like, fuck that. I want something. So I think they got like their 50 bones back. But yeah, there was like a bunch of those scams I heard too from my dad. My dad told me that there was if you're not familiar with the Wildwood Boardwalk, shout out to the Wildwood Boardwalk. You know you're garbage if you spend a fucking family vacation at the Wildwood Boardwalk. But there was this one game back in the day. You used to be able to play this game, and they would sell you cigarettes and cigars. And it's like a big wheel. It's like the prizes are like some are candy, some are like electronics, like little handheld radios and like black and white tube TVs with the antenna. Like whatever you need. They have something, and you put your wager on what quadrant it is, and if it hits, you get the prize. So there was like one of those wheels that my aunt played, and she won a prize, but like it was like she like saw the wheel hit the thing, and then looked down, saw that she had connected on what the wheel had landed on, and then was like, oh, I won, and looked up, and the hand was on a different part of the wheel, and she was like, oh, I guess I was just like wrong, or like I just assumed, like I looked too quick or something like that. And then like did the same bet, did the thing again. A couple spins later, it's like, oh, I thought like I hit again, and it like it wasn't. She like looked down, saw that she connected, and it was like, all right, well that's strange. So she stopped playing the game. But then like lo and behold, someone she knew like later in life ended up working there, and they were like, oh, there's like a pedal that like that breaks. Yeah, we can get out of here after this if you need to. There's like a pedal that breaks the hand, so like they can either like charge it up so that it looks like it's gonna stop a certain place and then jump, or like they could just outright like jam it and like stop it at a weird place. But like it's like there's people that are really good at doing that, and like they don't get caught doing it. So I think one of those people like scammed my aunt. But like yeah, like she spent like $15-$20 on like trying to win some stuff. And like every time she was like, I swear I thought I hit it, but like no, it's like they just have like a foot brake under there and scam
They're
you.
rigged as hell.
Every game,
I
every
hit
game
them.
up there.
I hit the basketball ones.
With the dented hoops.
They're rigged, but if you drill it, you can. They're really, and they're like 20 feet in the air and like 40 feet away or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Like you got a pretty
But
good.
I've hit a few of those, and it was the field trip in like 6th grade or something to fucking Wildwood, and I hit one of those, and the top prize was this giant fucking teddy bear, like bigger than a person, and I brought it home, and my grandparents, I like carried it in the rain all the way to the bus, like carried it all through the school bus home, like this thing was a pain in the ass, and I get it all the way home, and my grandparents are like, nah, like we're not keeping that. They made me donate it to the fucking Boys and Girls Club.
What are they gonna fucking do with it?
My friend's mom was like big into that at the time. They're like, yeah, give it to Miss Marta. We're donating this. We're not fucking keeping it. I was devastated. Not devastated, because I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? It was like a giant husky or something like that. Like,
But still, it was I earned.
I was like, I won this,
This
dude.
is mine. I fucking rightfully earned it. Like,
I gambled my $20 he gave me for pizza on this fucking bear, and I won. And I didn't get to eat pizza, but I got the bear.
I got what I fucking deserved, you know?
It was kind of annoying because it was like one of the first things we did that day, so I literally had to like carry it around from 9 a.m. to like fucking 1 p.m. when we left or whatever. Just so fucking inconvenient. But
Still though, like
I was like, everyone was hyped because I was like the only one that hit it, and I was like, yeah, I got this
dude,
big
when
husky.
you hit
Like
something
I was.
like that when you're with the boys, especially on like a fucking field trip, you're a celebrity for like a fucking the rest of the.
Oh, I was. I had clout. Not the week, but the rest of that day, walking around with the dog, they're like, damn, high roller, dude. He hit the fucking
Dude.
prize. Everyone else has these little rinky-dink stuffed animals and shit. I'm like, nah, bro. I hit the 3-pointer on the $5 game. You know, I get the big prizes. High roller.
We can end on this just because it is a fucking great story. It's a little long-winded for the setup, but there's so the Great American Scream Machine. I have a nostalgia for that roller coaster. It's the worst roller coaster I think on the Eastern Seaboard. It probably is not a Seymour suitable roller coaster just because it's like old rickety.
Where is it?
It's a Great Adventure, Six Flags. So Tyler and I went with his family one time up to Six Flags, and Tyler didn't want to go on the Great American Scream Machine, but I did. Tyler's dad, Paul, and I went on the Great American Scream Machine, and we got our shit rocked because it's like so old, your head just bounces between the fucking seat, like the overhand.
The CTE Scream Machine.
Yeah, so we were calling it the Great American Concussion Machine, and like it was a nice little inside joke Paul and I had for like the rest of the trip. It was hilarious. So like a couple years later, I go up there with the school marching band or something like that. It was me and Matt Mendez. And it's the rain, so first off, you're in the roller coaster in the rain. It feels like you're getting, like when you're on your motorcycle, you know, it's like feels like you're getting punched in the face by 1,000 little fucking bees. And this thing goes like 70 miles per hour, so we're whipping around in the rain, and like
that literally hurts.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's so bad.
I'm picturing like 30 or 40 or something.
Dude,
70 in the rain sucks.
There's
dude.
There's like it's so old. It only has one like really really big one, but it was like the highest before they built Nitro. It was the high, then King Dakar, but like before Nitro, this was the highest roller coaster in America for like 30 years or something like that. It was like a long-standing tallest roller coaster. But like it's that first one, as soon as you're over that first hill, it is just like your teeth are getting hit with fucking rain, and it's like you feel like
cleaning out your sinuses.
Dude, like
you're in a t-shirt. It just feels
it's painful.
Like you're getting shot paintballs.
So like Mendez and I are on this, and we ride the fucking roller coaster like 6 times. But like the last time we ride it, we flipped the bird to the camera because we knew where it was gonna be. And this guy had seen us go on. It's raining, so it's like we're the only people in the park. This guy had seen us go on it. He's like, "Do you want that photo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how much do you want?" He's like, "I'll just give it to you." Like, fuck it. So he printed it out and gave it to us. I have that fucking photo somewhere in my house still, but it's me and Mendez in the rain giving the fucking finger to the camera. And it's like, that guy was just so over his job. He's like, "I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here." Like, you're not even supposed to, like, make a silly face. Like, I'm not supposed to print it if you, like, go like, "Bleh," or whatever. But, like, he's like, "Yeah, fuck this job. You're cool. Here you go."
Got rules.
No charge. I think I duked him a 20 or something like that.
What a good egg.
But I was like a fucking legend, like in the whole ride home. It got passed from the back of the bus all the way up to the front.
Did anyone rat?
My teacher saw it. Everybody passed it back. I was getting high fives. Girls were like, "That's so cool."
I'm gonna suck his dick.
I was like, I mean, band chicks, so like probably not. Probably more like, "Do you want to go to Harry Potter with?"
Oh my god.
You know it too.
You were some fucking weird dudes.
I want to give you a really breathy, toothy blowjob.
Oh my god.
It's like,
I was never a popular kid, but I was like a fat
band kid.
I was a fat jock. Like I always played football or hockey. Or like I played some type of like.
You were competitive, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't like an athlete. I was a fat kid, but like
Where's my arc, Paulie?
I was, I don't know. Like like I said before, when Pokemon was big, I was collecting basketball cards. Like I just wasn't. But the
you
band,
never synced up.
The band kids were some fucking, y'all were some fucking dorks.
The way
You,
Mark,
Schuler, and Rank fucking walking around with your little hats.
yeah, man. Mark has the best word for it.
I'm just fucking with you.
No. Mark has the best word for it because it's like once you hear it, it's like that is so specifically for marching band. But like marching band kids are what he calls Melvins. You're like, yeah, you just a total Melvin man.
I think the drama kids are even weirder.
Oh,
Though.
well, like they hook up with each other, so that's like
You guys weren't fucking around?
Well, no, we were, but it was like they hook up like in a weird way because there's like gay kids in drama, so like the gay kids like aren't trying to fuck the chicks, but the chicks are like, "Oh, this is the first place where like a man will actually listen to me," like, you know. So they're like all horned up from the gay guys, giving them like the drama and like the ego stroke that they like. But then there's like a fat dude like me who's like building the set or like working a camera or something like that, and you just get fucking like, "Hey, you're hot," like because you're a guy, and I'm like already like fucking horny from this fucking gay guy pumping my tires. Like, it's a weird dynamic, but like theater kids are way weirder than band kids. Band kids are fucking dorks and like weird, and like I'm not gonna fucking say like there's absolutely like what if I put my life on paper and didn't include band, it would be like I feel like I'm missing something here. Like something's not adding up. It's like played snare drum for 4 years. That does it. Nailed it.
But you're also a lax bro, so you're all over the spectrum.
I am. I'm clearly on the spectrum. On the spectrum. Yeah, you got
the spectrum.
Yeah, you got to run. All right, what do you got to plug, buddy?
HRS Promotion and Designs. Give on them a shout to make your social media sparkle. Tommy in the 11R Rocket Ship, Traction Motorsports. Give him a follow. Shepherd Slabs on Instagram. Stewart's Handyman Service 609-338-9427. all your home needs, Canman, jscroc0@gmail.com. Give him a shout. He'll fucking power wash your butthole. And I had something else, but I don't remember it. So
see if you can remember it. Jay's gonna be in Dewey Beach, I believe.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Dewey Beach on today's Tuesday. We're early today. Tuesday, so I can actually like wait till tomorrow to edit this. And yeah, Jay will be in Dewey Beach for a comedy show. And then top of the week, I think he is going to be in New York. He's going to be in Manhattan. He was in Manhattan last night.
Check him out, Hollywood J.
Hollywood J.
Scroc on
Scroc.
Instagram, at Hollywood J. Scroc.
Make sure you call him when you meet him.
Joe Scroc Comedy.
Call him either Hollywood J. Scrocker or ask him if he was a penis in jeans, because he loves both of those.
It was my other buddy, another local racing team. They race out of Bridgeport in the modifieds. It was Tuckahoe Racing Team on YouTube. They made a YouTube channel. They do a little in-car footage. It's Johnny McCardle. It's like his cousin races, and Johnny goes and like works pit crew for him and stuff.
Who's number 7? Is that Wires? Because I saw him hauling his slingshot the other day.
Slingshot?
Yeah.
The sprint car?
The one that like, it looks like a shoe, but it's got the fucking I recognize it from the midget cars. It was a slingshot. Like it has the top part, the fins or whatever, but it's like longer. It might not have been a slingshot, but it was like that.
Probably like a sprint car or something. But their grandfather, Johnny Mac, they're all like cousins and shit, was some older guy. They call him the Tuckahoe Tornado 7A. I don't know who runs that number now. It's probably who you're talking about. If it's like if he's related to that guy.
Tuckahoe Tornado.
I think it's his cousin Nick or something that runs. I don't even remember what number it is, but they got a cool YouTube channel. I watched some videos today. It was funny. Saw him fucking damn near tearing down the wall in the one video. Johnny sent me the link. He's like, check out the YouTube channel. And the first video I clicked, it was like a warm up, like him running warm up laps in the modifieds or sportsman. I don't exactly know which class it is, but like the first few laps they're going around really slow. So I just like fast forward to like 8 minutes into the video. I just want to see him running that pace. And like the first lap I see, he just smokes the fence like wide open. I'm like, damn, I can't believe he's still running. And the next lap he hits it even fucking harder.
Damn.
I'm like, I just texted Johnny. I was like, damn, man, he was trying to tear the fucking fence down right there. Golly, he fucking smoked the wall. But yeah, they got a cool YouTube channel. Check them out. Go watch some races at Bridgeport. It's a cool track. And shout out to all our race. Shout out to Shep. Shep's trying to get back on the track too. We got
shout out to all the race teams.
We got modifieds, micro sprints, fucking
Micro
360
cocks.
sprints or 600 sprint, whatever that big son of a bitch that Tommy got now.
We got monster trucks. We got
Shep on the goddamn dirt scooter. Fucking
we got fucking Heelys.
got me on the sim rig.
We got a Heelys.
It's equally as hard as real.
Yeah.
I run a simulator.
Okay, we can literally. I know we just did the plugs, but we can end on this. Do you know what all the fucking waitresses are now playing right now? It is a fucking game that is simulating working in a restaurant.
Is it like hot dog kitchen or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's like ice cream
burger. I used to play one called like Burger King or something.
Yeah, it's like
Burger Kingdom.
It's called like ice cream scoopers or something like that, and it's like just working.
You get people walking up and you're like clicking things at the right time.
It's like a group based game. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Go fuck yourselves.